Good morning class. Welcome to online platform. We have already started Geography chapter 5 Industries. In this chapter you are learning all about industries. We have started this chapter with the introduction, meaning, types of industries. Then you learn about factors affecting industries. You learn about industrial system, industrial region, industrial disaster and major industries. So in last class you learn about iron and steel industries. There are three major industries I explain you: iron and steel industries, cotton textile industries and IT industries or information technology industries. Information technology industries is also called emerging industries. In last class we have completed iron and steel industries. You learn about location of iron and steel industries in world level and in India. What are the factors and how TISCO established. In today's class we will discuss about cotton textile industries. So let us start this. It is given on page number 56 in your textbook. Cotton textile industries. Page number 56. Weaving cloth from yarn is an ancient art. Cotton, wool, silk, jute, flax have been used for making cloth, right? From ancient time, right? It is not an only new product, right? Cotton textile is not new product. From ancient time, because from when people started wearing cloth, so making yarn is ancient art. They started making cotton, wool, silk, jute, flax from the plant product. The textile industries can be divided on the basis of raw material used in them. Fibers are the raw material of textile industries. So main raw material or input for the textile industries, that is fiber. Here mainly focus on cotton, but there are other kind of textile industries also which are using non-natural man-made fibers also. Fiber can be natural or man-made. Natural fibers are obtained from wool, silk, cotton, linen and jute. Right? Please underline, fiber can be natural or man-made, and natural fibers you have examples like wool, cotton, silk, linen, jute. Man-made fibers include nylon, polyester, acrylic and rayon. The cotton textile industry is one of the oldest industries in the world. As I told you that from when this is when evolution stages of evolution, when humans started wearing cloth, right, stitching cloth. From that we can say that cotton textile industry started. No doubt it was first as a cottage home industries and then gradually it converted into large scale industries. Here for a very important term is there, word origin. The term textile is derived from the Latin word texture, which means to weave. Right? So that way you can now connect why it is used here. The cotton textile industry is one of the oldest industries in the world. Till the industrial revolution in 18th century, cotton cloth was made using hand spinning technique, wheels and looms. You all aware about that and you already learn in history also, history chapter 6. Before industrial product, Indian textiles were very much famous in European countries and it was greatly demand because of its fine quality and very good printing on it. Handmade, yes. In 18th century, powerloom facilitated the development of cotton textile industries, first in Britain, later in other parts of the world. Today, India, China, Japan and USA are the important producer of cotton textile. We all aware about that the first industrialization occurred in Britain. Then gradually it started where the Britishers were having colony. The people started establishment of plant in that country. So gradually most of the countries were having cotton and textile industries. But today India is a leading producer of textile India, China, Japan, USA are the important producer of cotton textile. India has a glorious tradition of producing excellent quality cotton textile. Before the British rule, Indian handspun and hand-woven cloth already had a wide market. The muslin of Dhaka, chintz of Machilipatnam, calicos of Calicut and gold-wrought cotton of Burhanpur, Surat and Vadodara were known worldwide for their quality and design. Right? You already learned these types of clothes. No doubt that part was related, but I explain you that various types of Indian weavers were expertise in weaving various types of cotton. Cotton was not only a single type that just using that thread and they started, but through their skills they were using various they were weaving various types of cotton. It was very soft. It was said that Dhaka's muslin was so soft that from a finger ring, one sari can be passed. So you can imagine how soft cotton they were weaving, right? That also not in machine, by hand they were weaving. So it was worldwide famous and it was having wide market demand in ancient time. But the production of hand-woven cotton textile was expensive and time-consuming. This limitation of hand weaving you already learn in history also. That's why they were not able to compete with the machine-made good and gradually Indian textile declined. Hence the traditional cotton textile industries could not face the competition from the new textile mills of the West, which produced cheap and good quality fabric through mechanized industrial unit. Obviously, in machineries when they started, Western countries started producing cotton, it was in bulk and fine quality also comparatively. So, and cheaply available. So these three factors did not allow Indian textile to stay in market and gradually Indian textile declined. So this whole reason you have already learned in history that why Indian textile declined. Otherwise, in before British rule in India, Indian clothes were greatly demanded and Indian subcontinent was one of the only one producer which was selling its cotton through in all the different countries. The first successful mechanized textile mill was established in Mumbai in 1854. The warm, moist climate, a port for importing machinery, availability of raw material and skilled labor resulted in rapid expansion of industries in region. Now here also in this paragraph there are emphasis mostly on the factors. Climate was suitable, water availability was there, raw material, cheap and skilled labor was also available and capital was there. So first cotton mill you can underline also established in Mumbai in 1854. Initially these industries flourished in the state of Maharashtra and Gujarat because of favorable humid climate, but today humidity can be created artificially. Means for growing of cotton it need lots of humidity, right? So where humidity is available like a state like Maharashtra and Gujarat, they can easily flourish cotton textile industries. But now because of technology development they can create artificial humidity also, and raw cotton is a pure and not wet losing raw material. So these industries have spread to other parts of India also. Coimbatore, Kanpur, Chennai, Ahmedabad, Mumbai, Kolkata, Ludhiana, Pondicherry and Panipat are some of the other important centers. No doubt, Mumbai and are most favorite for the cotton textile today also. But along with this, these states, these places are also flourish in cotton textile industries. Here most important thing, do you know about 1/3 of the Indian textile industries total production is exported. Now as an example they have given cotton textile mills of Ahmedabad. Ahmedabad, it is located in Gujarat on the bank of the Sabarmati river. The first mill was established in 1859. It soon became the second largest textile city of India after Mumbai. Ahmedabad was therefore often referred to as Manchester of India. Student, please underline, Ahmedabad was referred as a Manchester of India because of all the favorable factors. It could produce a huge production of cotton textile. Favorable locational factors were responsible for the development of textile industries in Ahmedabad. Ahmedabad is situated very close to the cotton growing area. This ensures easy availability of raw material. Right? Again, they are focusing on the factors. Which factors available, it will accelerate the production of that kind. The climate is ideal for spinning and weaving. The flat terrain and easy availability of land is suitable for the establishment of the mills. The densely populated state of Gujarat and Maharashtra provide both skilled and semi-skilled labor. For cotton textile, they need both skilled laborers and semi-skilled labor. So both were easily available because of populated area. Well-developed road and railway network permits easy transportation of textiles to different parts of the country, thus providing easy access to the market. Mumbai port nearby facilitate import of machinery and export of cotton textile. So all these factors which you already learned in previous topic, factors affecting the location of industries, there you learn about capital, raw material, temperature, labor, water. So all these factors were easily available around Ahmedabad. So Ahmedabad became the largest producer, second largest producer of cotton textile in India. But in recent years, Ahmedabad textile mills have been having some problems. Main problem they face of capital. Several textile mills have closed down. This is primarily due to emergence of new textile centers in the country as well as non-upgradation of machines and technology. You all know that if you are not upgrading yourself, then you will be outside. So same happened with the Ahmedabad cotton mills also, because the owner of the mills they could not upgrade machineries and technology. So it remained as a outdated mills, and many of the mills now shut down. So this was the cotton textile industries in India. Osaka, they have given example of Japan, but as you all know that we have deleted this topic also from your syllabus. So same the suitable factors were there. So Japan became the Manchester. Japan, Osaka was called Manchester of Japan because of its production, large production. As student, it is as I told you that about IT industries, they have not given much information where it's suitable, because in old book they have elaborated it largely about California and Silicon Valley and Bangalore. But let me just tell you about the information technology industries. The information technology IT sector deals in the storage, processing and the distribution of information. They are working on data. The major hub of IT industries are Silicon Valley in USA and Bangalore in India. Means they are all the data, they are working on data, and from one country to another country they are working day and night. So IT industries is most important and emerging industries at today's life. And there are many IT industries established in Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, now even in Mumbai also. So these are the hubs of IT industries. So student, this was your chapter. Hope you all have clear all the concept of this chapter. No doubt it was little large chapter, but I try to make clear all the points. Still, if you are having any doubt, you can ask in live classes. Now let us do question answers of this chapter. There are total 4 questions given here. I will discuss here with you. So you can pause the video and you can write in your classwork whenever you are writing in your classwork. Question number 1. What is meant by the term industries? I already make you underline that given on the very first page. Industry refer to an economic activity that is concerned with the production of goods, extraction of mineral or provision of services. Second question. Which are the main factors which influence the location of industries? That picture is given, and that beside that picture there is a paragraph that you have to write. The location of industry is affected by the availability of raw material, land, water, labor, power, capital, transport and market. So these are the factors you can write, and you can even draw that diagram also. Which industries is often referred to as the backbone of modern industries and why? In yesterday's video I explained you all know which industry is called as backbone industries. Yes, iron and steel industries. The iron and steel industries is referred to as the backbone of modern industries. This is so because it is a feeder industries whose products are used as a raw material for other industries. And we cannot imagine our life without iron or steel. Each and every product which we are using directly or indirectly made up of iron and steel industries output. Why cotton textile industries rapidly expanded in Mumbai? I just explained you. Cotton textile industries expanded rapidly in Mumbai initially because of the presence of a lot of favorable conditions, warm and moist climate, a port situated nearby to import machinery, easy availability of raw material and skilled labor were the factors behind this. Okay, so hope you understand this question. Take the correct answer. Fort Gloucester is located in California. Which one of the following is a natural fiber? Jute. Distinguish between the following. At least two points you have to write. So I am dictating here. If you want to write, you can write here. First difference is agro-based and mineral-based industries. Agro-based industries, first point, agro-based industries use plant and animal-based product as their raw material. You can write from that classification of industries, also the same meaning is given. Okay, in mineral-based you can write first point, mineral-based industries use mineral ores or as their raw material. Second point, for agro-based, example of raw material use animal skin, crop. For mineral-based, examples of raw material use iron ore, limestone. In third point, you can write example of industries, leather industries, food processing industries, etc. And in mineral-based, you can write example, iron and steel industries. Clear to you all? Okay. Second difference, distinguish between public sector and joint sector industries. Okay, so here also, public sector, first point, public sector industries are owned and run by the government. First point in joint sector industries are owned and operated by the state as well as individual. Means here both join hands and running the industries. Second point you can write example, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. Children, don't worry if you are not able to write right now because same points are given in that paragraph also. Joint sector example you can write Maruti Udyog. Give two examples of the following in the space provided. Here means you have to write two example of each point. Raw materials, you can write any kind of raw material like ores or plant. End product means finished product, you can write anything, you can write shirt, you can write steel. Tertiary activities, I explained you when I was explaining you the different activities, primary activities, secondary and tertiary activities. Tertiary you can write banking, insurance, transportation, communication, and you can write. Agro-based industries, I just gave you example. You can write any, leather industries, food processing industries. Cottage industries, you can write basket, weaving, pottery. Cooperative, you can write Amul, Sudha Dairy. Okay. So these were your textual question answers. Now extra question answers, there are 2 or 3 questions I am dictating you, please write that you have to write in your classwork. First question is, write a short note on industrial disaster. In yesterday's class I explained you meaning of industrial disaster and one example also you can write, and also you have to write down risk reduction measures of industrial disaster. Second extra question, explain the classification of industries. So all the types of industries you will write. So you can write in flowchart and then you can explain, or you can write directly all the types of industries. And third question is explain industrial system. So there are 3 extra question, 2 differences also you have to write, and these 4 textual question answers you have to write. Question number 2 and 4 you can do in your textbook. So clear what to do in classwork? Okay. Here we have completed this chapter. Still if you are having any doubt, so you can ask me anytime. Okay, keep learning, watch all the videos carefully and try to understand it nicely. Have a fantastic day, students. Goodbye.